Hello everybody, back to the Nexus 4 from Google and LG. This is part 2 of the review of the Nexus 4. So first of all, I guess, now that I have it, did not have this when I was doing part 1, but I have a case for the phone. It looks pretty nice. There are different colors, including a clear option, but I got this for about $6 shipped from Texas in the United States. So fast shipping, and really it's not bad. Alright, because I guess I don't want to break the glass back on this phone. Okay, so we're going to start out by checking out the camera. So here's the camera. And there is no dedicated camera button on the side. Photos turned out pretty decent, but after zooming in, they looked quite a bit more fuzzy or grainy than I would have liked them to be on an 8 megapixel camera on such a high-end phone. Also, cameras, you can take camera snapshots while taking a video with this phone, which is quite neat. Videos looked very smooth. You can zoom in while you're using it, but since tapping the screen while taking a video, it takes the snapshot, the still shot. It does not, yes, it does not focus while you're in the video. So you're pretty much left to autofocus. You can't tap to focus while filming with this phone, as far as I know. Audio quality was excellent when I recorded it, and there's also video editing software called Movie Studio on board, and then a couple photo editing options in the phone. But overall, the camera is probably one of the downsides to this phone. The camcorder's not too bad. 1080p HD recording. Alright, so as you can see, it flips when you flip the camera. The controls kind of flip, and the whole thing flips. You have a little bit of a lag there. But also in options, you have camera, camcorder, panorama, and this is a simple panorama software where you can take picture and then you just go around like this, and as you can see, you're creating an entire photo. So let's see, oops, I have not played too much with this. Is it here? Nope, I don't know where it went, but that's that. But the real fun one is this one, which I can't really demonstrate too much here, but you align the dot, and then you can end up capturing a picture, if you can see that, based on lining up the dots. And you can go all the way around in a 360 view, and eventually when you are done, you will have an entire picture to view, which is quite cool. So now I believe that's saved. Yep, we can go right here, and this is the only part of it. Here, rendering panorama. Oops. And that's the panorama, but then you can go into here and you can just zoom around where you took pictures, and it combined them all into this one, which is neat, but I did not take very many pictures. It's really cool when you go all the way around in a circle. So, okay, let's exit this. There we go. And we'll go back to the camera. So that's those features. They're pretty fun to play around with, I have to admit. And then also you've got simple camera features like, well, you've got the front-facing camera, you have HDR. The front-facing is 1.3 megapixels. You have HDR, and you have the flash, which I'm not sure why it doesn't want it to be, because of HDR. If HDR is on, it cannot use flash. And then also just simple settings, photo size, door location, scene mode, all that good stuff. So, and then you can adjust some stuff here. And in video recording, it came defaulted on 720p for some reason, and you can turn the flash on during video, but you can't turn it on and off while filming, so that's a disappointment. But here, it came defaulted to HD 720p for some reason and not 1080, so that was interesting. I took a couple videos and then realized it was only in 720p. Alrighty, now let's talk about games. I am not a huge gamer, and this is my personal phone. I did not want to download a bunch of big games on here, but what I do have is I have Uno, which I have to say I was disappointed with the quality on here because it seems to have scaled it up for this screen, and so the resolution didn't quite seem on par as it is with a a smaller screened phone. So as you can see, the words are somewhat pixelated. Here we go. Yeah. There we go. Let's just start a game here and see if you can see. And again, it looks much better on a small screen. That's how I know that it's not just the game. Yep. So, again, I don't know if you can see, but the cards down here look somewhat pixelated for some reason, and I'm guessing it's just because of the large screen size on this phone. Alright, and then also we have Lane Splitter. That one worked fine. Again, these are small games, not huge files. And then Flow Free works fine as well. No lag. Road Trip 2 is somewhat of a bigger game. And again, there's no lag or jumpiness during the game. It's pretty quick to load. And let's see. We'll just go along and play it really quick for you. But I really think you'd be fine with any game on this phone. Oops, I didn't want to waste that. And graphics are good. This phone is, yeah, graphics are good. This phone, with its quad-core processor and 2 gigs of RAM, you should really be fine with almost any game you put at this thing. Because this is about top of the line, and that quad-core processor will do it. So, that is games. Alright, now let's check out the quadrant standard. But first we're going to actually check out speed tests. I'm not going to do a speed test for you right now because I'm actually only in an edge coverage area, so I am on Wi-Fi. But I will show you some speed tests from the past. They've ranged a bit, but that one is Wi-Fi. But if you look at you can see which ones are Wi-Fi. The first one's Wi-Fi, based on the symbol. But the first couple I did, I got roughly 15, 16 megabits per second. There's one 14, 13, which is really good, and then almost 2 megabits per second up. But I got not very good for latency. Latency has not been good overall in general, and that's just because of the way T-Mobile's network works. And this phone actually switches from 3G UMTS to HSPA Plus as needed with data. So when you start the speed test, I think it's taking into time that it actually switches networks or adds the add-on for faster speeds. And I've been pretty pleased with the speeds. Again, that's really good, and that's only in their 21 megabit per second coverage area. I have yet to go to a 42 megabit per second area, but I hear that they get around a little less than 30 megabits per second, and this phone is capable of that. So I am pretty excited to try that, but other times I've gotten 7,800, you can see, 5,000. That one wasn't very good. That one was on edge, so discount that one. Again, most of them were pretty fast, but internet speeds on this were good, so I would not complain about the browsing. It is not LTE for its consistency and consistent high, fast latency, or low latency. But again, you can get some pretty high speeds out of this thing depending on your area, especially if you're in a 42 megabit per second area. Alright, let's go into quadrant. And we'll start the test. But I have to say, I did a test before. Just one, but the test did not turn out too excellent. I mean, it came out on top of all the other ones listed in the on the list, but the score was not anything very amazing for this kind of device, and I'm not really sure why that is, but performance on this thing is just amazing, and I know I read the reason why. It's something that's not too big of a deal. I believe it's because it's just this version of Android actually is not quite quite supported by the Quadrant program, but whatever. We'll do a test anyways. See, that was quite fast. Alright, and your device at the top, most certainly. Let's see if we can get this to show up clearly. There we go. Your device is 4,920 if you can't see that, which is, you know, a good score, but not excellent for a quad-core processor. It's probably just the newest version of Android that has not been fully supported with this. Alright. So, something else. This test went so fast that I didn't really get a chance to talk about it, but call quality on this thing is really good. It sounds great. There are dual microphones, one for listening to you, and one for noise cancellation, which is right up there, that little hole. And again, it sounds great on both ends. Sound is very full feeling or sounding, and I was pretty happy with that. And also battery life for this thing. Battery life was not too great. For me, I did not get a full day. I would get a good maybe 9 or so hours, but then it would go out on me. And I've been reading a lot. In fact, I haven't read from someone that they haven't been through a whole day with it, and these are people who use it quite a bit. So I'm not sure if I have one with a bad battery or not, but I really hope not, because I am keeping this phone. But most people have been saying they can get through a full day of use on a full day of moderate use, moderate to heavy, on a good full charge of battery. So again, my battery use, it depletes before the day. It's not completely horrific battery, but not amazing. So again, it depends on how you use it, and it depends, I guess, I don't know, it depends on if I have a bad device or not. But again, I sure hope not. Also, something I forgot to mention when I was doing speed tests, this thing does not have LTE, which is one of the downsides. For me, I'm fine with that. T-Mobile's 42 megabit per second network must be fast, seeing the network speeds I've gotten on 21 megabits per second and hearing about what other people have gotten on 42. LTE, T-Mobile doesn't have LTE anyways yet, but there have been hacks that really aren't even hacks, but a simple settings change that turn on LTE for some people in Canada, and that seems to work with people on Band 4 LTE, which is what T-Mobile is getting in half a year. So if you use this phone on T-Mobile, it's quite possible for you to get LTE on it once they have it rolled out. So keep that in mind. Also, so in conclusion, this is an excellent phone. Very high-end these days, up there with the Galaxy S3, the Galaxy Note 2. There's no LTE, and the camera is not the greatest, but other than that, this phone is very slick, very smooth, very quick. And the best part is the price. The price, $300 for 8 gigs, $16 gigabytes for $350 is, without a contract, is nothing for this high end of a phone. So really, if you get it for one of those prices, this is not to be beaten. So please follow me on Twitter at FunZer1, and like my page on Facebook. You'll get updates. I may end up doing a giveaway someday again, who knows. You'll get all that stuff on my Facebook page, and it's also a place for you to ask questions. Also, if you have questions, you can text my Text Plus number, which is on the screen below. Please subscribe. It really does help, and it helps me be able to do these videos. And thank you for watching.